You don't need more motivation right now. You don't need another productivity strategy either. You don't need a new routine plan. You don't need to feel ready first. You need one thing instead. Your life is not broken completely. Your effort is not actually missing. Your goals are not too ambitious. Your problem is much simpler than that, but you keep overlooking it daily. You keep starting over again constantly. You reset every single new week. You feel ready, then you stop. You try again, then disappear again. That pattern is the real problem. It's not effort you are lacking. It's not intelligence holding you back. It's not potential that you're missing. It's not even discipline at first. It is something far more basic. You make too many daily decisions. You think about what to do. You debate when to start working. You wait until you feel ready. That is where you lose control. Every day becomes a negotiation again. Should I start now or later? Maybe I'll do it tomorrow instead. I don't feel ready right now. That conversation drains your consistency. When action depends on your mood, consistency becomes impossible to sustain. Motivation rises and disappears quickly. Feelings shift without warning every day, so your effort becomes unstable too. You think you need more discipline, so you try to push harder. You try to force yourself forward. You rely on bursts of energy, but that never lasts for long. Your brain avoids repeated difficult decisions. It looks for the easiest available option. Thinking creates resistance before action begins. More choices increase hesitation and delay. Less clarity creates more internal friction. When nothing is clearly defined daily, your brain defaults to comfort automatically. You scroll instead of starting work. You delay instead of taking action. You avoid instead of building consistency. This is not laziness at all. This is decision fatigue happening daily. Too many choices weaken your follow-through. Too much thinking blocks your execution. You are stuck in constant mental loops. So the real solution is simple. You don't need more motivation anymore. You don't need stronger willpower either. You need to remove daily decisions. That is where control begins. Without structure, you rely on feelings. Feelings change faster than your goals, so your actions keep changing too. That breaks your consistency over time, and your progress resets again. You start strong at the beginning, then your energy slowly fades away. You miss one day, then two. Then stopping becomes easier than continuing, and the cycle repeats again. Each time you stop like this, you lose trust in yourself again. Your confidence begins to drop slowly. Your identity starts to weaken internally. You begin doubting your own discipline. So you try to restart again. You promise yourself this time differently, but nothing actually changes underneath. Same decisions, same patterns, same outcome. That is the real trap. You don't need a complex system. You don't need 10 new habits. You don't need a perfect routine. You need one simple fixed action, one non-negotiable daily behavior. This action must be clearly defined. No thinking required before starting it. No debate allowed around doing it. No condition attached to your mood. It happens every single day. For example, make it very simple. Sit down and work for 10 minutes, not 1 hour or 2 hours, just 10 minutes every single day, no matter how you feel inside. The goal is not intensity here. The goal is showing up daily, even when energy feels completely low, even when motivation is not present, even when you don't feel ready. Because once you start small daily, resistance becomes weaker over time. Starting becomes easier every single day. consistency begins to build naturally. Momentum starts working in your favor. Now, you are no longer deciding, you are simply following a system. The action is already predetermined, so your brain stops negotiating daily, and execution becomes automatic gradually. You stop seeing yourself as inconsistent. You stop labeling yourself as lazy. You start becoming someone who shows up, someone who follows through daily actions, someone who builds trust with themselves. Identity is built through repetition only, not through motivation or strong feelings, not through intensity or random effort, but through small, consistent daily actions. That is what reshapes your self-image. Each day you show up again, you reinforce a stronger internal identity. You prove something to yourself silently. You build confidence through real evidence, not with words, but with action. Now, discipline feels less like force and more like something you naturally do, because your system supports your behavior and your identity supports your system. Everything starts aligning slowly. You don't fix your life overnight. You don't change everything at once. You don't need extreme effort daily. You need consistent presence every day. That is where change begins. One habit done every single day, one action repeated without negotiation, one system you actually follow through. That is enough to shift everything. That is how control is built. Stop trying to do everything perfectly. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop depending on motivation to act. Start showing up regardless of feelings. That is the real turning point. So ask yourself one simple question. What is your one daily non-negotiable? What will you do every single day, no matter how you feel inside? That decision changes everything. If this made you rethink your approach, then you're ready for the next step. Watch the next video. It will deepen your discipline system. Or go back and rewatch this again, because repetition builds real understanding. Consistency is built through repetition. Show up again tomorrow.